Hi, this is Earl Haddon with the Small Business Success Project. Today we're going to talk about a couple of the techniques that we use in the Success Project to help people focus and make sure that they're really aligned with things that are important in their life. This exercise usually takes a week's time, and as we've talked in other videos, the small business people usually work 50 to 60 hours a week, and this exercise should take about 10% of that time. So it should take 5 or 6 hours during the course of a week to develop your goals, your values, and your big, hairy, audacious goal, which we're going to talk about in a little bit of detail. The first thing we want to look at are your personal goals and values. And this was developed in the 1920s by one of the industrialists that was asked what were the most important things in his life. And he said, well, there are 5 things. There's spiritual, there's relationships, there's business and money, there's health, and there's making a difference. A few of our people have said, well, there's really a couple of other things. One is knowledge or wisdom. Another one is being able to achieve specific goals, like being able to run marathons or things like that that are really detailed. This is a pretty high level, and one of the things we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the details of how we can improve those areas of our life. So once we have established these, if we have 5, our high score will be a 5, the next will be a 4, and so forth. If we have 6 or 7, we'll just use a higher score. A 6 or a 7 will be the top score all the way down. Now you have to come up with a relative score, and a lot of people have a hard time with this because they're all important. So if you have trouble coming up with that differentiation, you can make them a 10.5, 10.4, 10.3, but trust me, the result is still the same. So once you've understood what your goals and values are, we can do something called a SWOT analysis. And the SWOT analysis takes our priorities and puts them on a chart, looking at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now there are 2 different ways to use SWOT analysis. If you've ever worked for a large corporation, you may have been exposed to a different approach. But we're looking at using SWOT analysis to measure the internal aspects of your life, the things that you can control or have some influence over. So if we have 5 items, then one of them will be most important, we'll get a 5. And if we look at it and say the thing that's most important to us, let me use a red marker here, the thing that's most important to us but our performance is not very good, that gets a 1. The next thing may be less important, but we do a good job of that. And then the next thing might be here, the next thing might be here and here. And you look at where these things fit on the scatter diagram. And the thing that's useful about this is deciding where to allocate your time and your money. And most people work on the things that they're already good at. And it's a two-edged sword. One is they're already good at it because they spend a lot of time working on it. The other one is they work on it because they're good at it and they're very comfortable with it. But the place that you need to make the biggest improvement and spend your time and your money is down here in the weakness area. And so you start here and you go this way around the diagram, calculating where you want to spend your time and your money. A lot of people wonder, should I spend a lot of time on my weaknesses or should I ignore them? Well, you can't ignore them if they're important, but you can do some other things that are, in my opinion, kind of fun. One is you can find somebody to delegate them to. For example, I'm not great at detail, but my wife is wonderful. She's a mathematician, and so when we talk about doing books and planning and things like that, my wife usually gets delegated these tasks. She doesn't know it yet, so I hope she never watches this video. So when we look at understanding where we need to spend our time and our money, then we can put together an action plan that says, I want to improve this area of my life, and this is what I'm going to do to get there. For example, if you've decided that you need to improve your health, you might set a goal of joining a health club or losing some weight. If you decide that your most important area is your relationships, you might put on your calendar to have events once a quarter with your spouse or with your kids. And once you have those things in place, then you can establish the goal that's going to help you get there over about a 3 to 5 year period. And this is called a big, hairy, audacious goal. And this was developed by Jim Collins and written up in a book called Good to Great. And the big, hairy, audacious goal is to think about something that is outside the realm of what you consider your comfort zone. I met with a couple yesterday. They set their goal of having $3 million within 5 years so that they can take care of their aging parents, they can live the lifestyle they want to, and they can provide a good life for their children. That is a big, hairy, audacious goal, considering that they're starting with nearly nothing. So when you look at establishing your goals, doing the SWOT analysis, coming up with your personal improvement objectives, and then establishing your BHAG, you can use all of those as inputs to your business so that when you start running into hard times, which you will, you're going to say, I'm not going to give up because I have this goal that is really important to me. I'm Earl Haddon with the Small Business Success Project. For more information on the Small Business Success Project, contact me at the email that's on the screen.